Like, I'm a very strong-minded person. And when I believe something, I really believe it. But you can still doubt yourself, can't you? And you can be brought down by enough people around you.
It's so easily done. And I still get it with members of my family, with people in my social circle. They will still say, like, oh, when are you going to go and get a quote proper job? I'm like, what do you define as a proper job exactly? Like, oh, you know, the one you had. What's the matter with the one I'm doing now? I'm actually making more money and I've got more time. And I get to see my kids more. And I get to explore this home education option because of everything that it's now given me. But somehow that's a negative. So actually, by surrounding myself with people, albeit these are people I do not know because they are just voices coming from my speakers, they share their stories and they're the ones that empower me to want to do better. And I definitely realise it. If I spend time with certain people, I do doubt all of my decisions. But knowing that I've got those voices in the car to go to, whether that's on a book or a podcast or whatever it may be, or even in so we're part of different business masterminds as well now, surrounding ourselves with people that are going to build us up rather than question everything we do and make you doubt the choices you have made. Like I say, I've been doing dog training for coming up to 10 years and I still get questioned on, are you sure you're doing the right thing? 10 years I've been doing it and you still question me? You still think that it's a bad thing to be running my own business?
But also, I'm sure you get this as well, that it's taken seriously. So it's like, oh, do you still do that dog thing?
Yeah.
Like, I get that such a lot.
Yeah.
And I've worked with dogs in various capacities over the years. And I'm like, which dog thing? And they're like, oh, yeah, do you do like puppy parties or whatever? And I'm like, puppy parties, oh my God. And you could easily get your back up, and I used to, but now I'm just like, not quite. But you take it either way, don't you? But they just don't see it as a serious job, do they?
No, not at all. And I don't think that does anybody any good for your own mental health.
No.
Or just, you are never going to look at your business as a business if you are surrounding yourself with people that tell you do not have a business.
Yeah, but
you
again,
have a hobby.
It comes back to that societal, the impression they have of the industry isn't serious. Yeah. It's a necessity. They all want your help when they want it, but they're like, oh, it's not really a real job, is it? And you play around with dogs all day and, you know, they go, oh, what a lovely job to have. And anyone that works in it knows it's not just a lovely job to have. It is sometimes, but it's not other times, is it? Very emotional and very stressful sometimes. So it's that whole perception to me, again, it comes back to that link that we talked about in that previous episode about we want to change that public perception. We want to involve them. We don't want to just kind of keep going away, like project ourselves further away from the public. We want them to be with us, like along with the journey. Yeah,
and I think it's so important because, again, we see it time and time. Again, it's everywhere. It's everybody we speak to. I'm overwhelmed. I'm fed up. I don't enjoy my business anymore. And for me, it's just a real shame because there's no valid reason why you shouldn't enjoy your business. No. You chose to do this and you chose to do it for a reason. Now, I understand that everybody will go into this for different reasons. And some may be, oh, it's been a lifelong dream or whatever it may be. And then you do genuinely go, oh, it's not what I expected. So I've kind of walked away from it. But that's not actually the people I think we're talking to here.
No.
I see the people that have been doing this for years and they do genuinely love it. But because of the overwhelm and the burnout,
and the poor processes maybe that are in place.
Yeah, because of everything, because of not realising you're a business owner, that's where all of that comes from. Because as soon as you start realising you do have a business and you treat it like one, it's amazing. Oh. It's like the best thing ever to be able to have that flexibility. And almost, I think people look at this the wrong way. So I like to think I'm quite a positive person. And not like the annoying, like everything's amazing kind of positive person.
Nothing's ever like that in real life.
But the ability to go, where can I see the good in most things? And for a lot of people, you know, bringing it back to money, because I think it's such an underlying cause of this for a lot of people. Again, some of the comments I see on social media are, I just don't even know how to make a full-time wage.
Yeah.
I was like, and it saddens me so much.
I saw a comment the other day about the hourly rate for someone who's doing behaviour work as well as training was £7.50 an hour or something like that when she worked it out. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I know we do work extra hours. We can't just walk away from it. Like, well, you can, but a lot of us don't. And even if we have good intentions to, we always do a bit more than we should. And we know that. But still, you should be allowing for that in your hourly rate.
Yep.
It should all be part and parcel. It should be factored in. Why are we even surprised what our hourly rate is? We should know it and be quite happy with it.
Yep, absolutely. It is so painful, and I just think it just really saddens me that people think they can't make a full-time wage from doing this, and it is that overwhelm of everything. When, for me, again, I always try and look at it and go, do you know what? I actually have a great opportunity here. So if money's a little bit scarce one month and we're like, oh God, imagine if I felt like that. So with everything going on at the moment, so what are the things we're hearing? Like cost of living, everything's going up, food's going up, bills are going up.
Petrol's going up.
Everything is expensive. So we should slash our prices or something. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So if everything else is going up, we should be going up as well. It's just natural. But if I was in my full-time job, now my old one, my corporate one, with everything going up, I've got zero ability to be able to make any more money. So the money I now have just isn't going as far as it was. Whereas arguably I now look at it in my situation and go, do you know what, I'm in the best possible situation because I have the ability to bring in as much as I want.
Yeah, to offer different things, to change things up, to adapt to that crisis. You can kind of almost see it as an opportunity to do something different then.
I think you have to look at it as an opportunity, because it's so easy, I think, again, to go down this negative spiral of, oh, woe is me, can't charge this, can't do that, no one's wanting to spend, I'm going to have to go and get a job. I'm like, well, you have an amazing opportunity to go and earn more than a job will ever pay you. And like I said, my salary was decent. It was a good, I think it was about 65k with a company car. So it's not a salary to be sniffed at.
No.
But I was doing 80-hour weeks. And like I say, that salary now, the pay rises wouldn't have gone up as much as all cost of living has gone up. So how am I better off being in that situation?
No, you'd be in a worse position, wouldn't you?
So yes, okay, I'd have a little bit more security potentially. But if you change your mindset again, it's looking at how can I possibly bring that additional money in. And none of this to me has ever felt like overwhelm or burnout, because I've done a lot of work on my mindset to get there. And I think that's why I feel like my business has succeeded, and why this business now has the opportunity to grow the way that we want it to.
Yeah, but coming on to that, so that's a nice little feeder for this actually, is that we feel like our businesses, because our independent businesses have gotten to the point where we're content with them, we're happy with them, we've built them up to this amazing thing, each of us, but we also feel like now is the time for change, don't we? We've because that's what we're like as people, and we like to just keep doing something different, and we don't want to become complacent.
Yes.
And it's always how I've been, and I know it's how you've been as well. So it feels like we met at the right time. Yeah. We were building things up, and we got them to where we were really happy with them. And now we feel like there's a brand new challenge, which is this. Yeah. And that vision was always, like, it wasn't always there, but we got it. We've got like a good goal.
Yes. Plural.
Yeah, there are goals. And they're big goals. Like, you could arguably say, well, that's like fantasy. Like, as if you're going to achieve that. Like, as if you're going to do that. And we're like, why can't we do that? Yeah. What's stopping us doing that? So we knew that. We had that vision and that goal in our head, but we had real... And we will admit it now, we had a lack of clarity of how we were going to achieve that goal, didn't we?
Yeah. It was really hard, really, really difficult. And I think we've almost struggled with it in a back different way to, I think, where a lot of people will struggle. And by that, I mean, we've always known where we wanted to go with this, and we will put it out there now to hold ourselves accountable. We want to make sure that we are challenging the industry as a whole as to go, what do the public actually think of dog professionals? Do the public genuinely think accreditation means anything? And it should mean something, but that means we need to start talking to the public a lot more about all of this stuff, not just in-house within industry, because that's where I feel like a lot of the conversations are happening, whereas it's the public that ultimately are going to buy those services and determine the value of them. So why are we not? It's a whole area that needs to be explored, and we want to do that, and that's why we've wanted to do this podcast as well, so that we can get people starting that conversation and knowing that you're not alone in all of this stuff on how you feel. But we too have felt overwhelmed with even taking on this challenge, because this is a massive challenge, and we knew when we started this that we are going to be at risk of people commenting negatively towards us. And I know that that's something that potentially holds a lot of you all listening now back in your own businesses, because it's that fear of
judgment.
Yeah, someone's going to judge me for an opinion that I need to share. So it's easy to hide behind a keyboard to a degree. And
we're putting ourselves on real show here.
Yeah.
Can't we? We're like, there's nowhere to hide.
No, and it is, and it's super scary, because ultimately a lot of you may not agree with us, but there's a lot of you that might as well. And ultimately, all we're trying to do is just be honest, tell you the journey of our businesses and how we've grown them, and how we are looking to continue to grow this business, to be able to support this industry and give it a massive kick up the backside that we both genuinely believe it needs. If other industries are excelling at all of these different areas, why does it feel that the dog industry is lagging behind?
We're so left behind. So left behind. But having said that, these business groups we go to, masterminds, people that we surround ourselves with, they're from all different businesses, aren't they? Yeah. And there are challenges that are similar in a lot of these industries, actually. Yeah. When we think it's, oh my God, it's just us. Mm-hmm. Yes, I think there are certain elements of the dog industry which are very archaic and old-fashioned and just sort of left in the 70s where Barbara Woodhouse was. But there are other things which a lot of other industries are experiencing. And when you hear, this is what we love about those business days, is because we get to almost collaborate with, network with these people, make connections with these people that are nothing to do with the dog industry, but they've got very similar stories, don't they? So they're feeling the same struggles. They want to change their industry. They want to be these people that are us now, and they don't, they need some direction and clarity on that. And that's why we're all there. Yeah. Because we need mentors and coaching, and that's what we're getting from that, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.